All right, for this reflection, I'm supposed to go over what went well versus what didn't go well in my lesson. What were the things I thought I could change or do better? Um, I'll start by saying I thought that the lesson plan itself, the subject for the lesson plan, put us at like a great disadvantage because this whole class semester we've been learning about classroom technology and how to utilize it, but we aren't teachers yet. We're prospective teachers. So I don't have any of the things that we've learned about so far. So it was easy to type a lesson plan saying how I could implement them, but it was a whole different task for us to actually have to teach it without any of those things. I thought it was a little unfair, to be honest. So I went with a piece of technology that I thought would be a little bit easy, and I did calculators. um, I taught a sixth grade math lesson over the order of operations. Um, but that's not the only technology I use throughout it. That's the one I chose to focus on for the little lesson video that I shot. Um, I did use um, an interactive whiteboard where for the lesson I would pull up a calculator app so that the class could see how I was entering the problems and they could therefore reciprocate this. Um, and also, I used clickers for in my demonstration. I did do the clicker test, but I just had them raise their hands when they knew the answer because obviously I don't have a set of clickers at my house. Um, Anyway, I think that my lesson plan overall was pretty solid. For the little recording that I did do, um, I just went everything very quickly. Well, I guess I'll take that back a little bit. For the beginning of my lesson plan, I do a couple of warm up problems over some simpler things, just 7 times 7, 4 squared, 8 plus 8, just simple things like that. And then I gradually make them harder until they come like these big complex order of operations problems. At that point, the class is like, we don't know how to do these. And then I dive into the lesson. I teach them some examples up on the whiteboard or on my interactive whiteboard, and then I have them do a little group table quiz just for practice. I wrote a bunch of problems on the board. Whichever group gets it done the fastest with all the right answer wins. After that group checks out, then I work out all the problems on the board so everybody else can see, and then we move on to I give them an assignment to do in class over how to manually work out these PEMDAS problems. And then after that is where my lesson plan video comes into play. After that, I show them how to, now that they've learned how to do these kinds of problems by hand, I teach them how to do it on a calculator. Um, for my demonstration, I made it a very condensed version because our presentations were supposed to be like less than 10 minutes. If I had an actual classroom, of course, I would take more time to explain. And also, I was talking to adults and not sixth graders. So it was pretty easy to fly through it. If it were sixth graders, though, I would take a lot more time to explain and do a lot more demonstration and a lot more practice problems for them to see me working them out before I actually gave them any kind of a test. But just for the purpose of the our activity for for this class period, I just did a quick little presentation. I think that it went well. I think that if I had a real classroom, they would have got the ideas. If I would have just slowed it down a bit, took some time to do a few more problems. But overall, I think that my lesson plan would have actually worked really well in a class. The big assessment is, well, I wrap it up by saying, like, I'll go over your assignments that you turn in and your clicker quizzes. And if you need more review, depending on how you did, we'll see how much review we need to do tomorrow. And then the following day, I would give them a test, a take home test that they could do. And then I would tell them to use their calculator um, and their manual um, working out the problems to finish that assignment. So I think that overall it went really well, but it's hard to say when I couldn't actually practice it on sixth graders or with the technology that I needed. But I mean, I guess that's about it.